I said the big news of the day at the White House was the Caroline Levitt briefing at 1, but in fact, about an hour ago, as was touted last night, Tulsi Gabbard released a new report. It's really an old report, but on the topic that is concerned of her and the president so much, this question, which I confess to you, I don't understand what they're saying, something having to do with the Obama and Biden administration. Here, from our friends at Newsmax, their best effort to explain to you what happened at 8 o'clock Eastern time this morning. Roll, our friends at Newsmax.
We start this morning with breaking news.
Yeah, I'm Charlotte McBride. You heard President Trump accuse former President Barack Obama of treason in the Oval Office yesterday. Well, now the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is dropping a bombshell report that informs that opinion.
Now, that report also forms the basis of the decision to refer the former President of the United States to the Justice Department for potential prosecution. Newsmax chief Washington correspondent James Rosen is live with us with the very latest.
Mark and Charlotte, good morning to you. To produce the 44-page report from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard that was unsealed just moments ago, the top of this hour, intelligence officials spent some 2,300 hours, mostly at the Central Intelligence Agency, reviewing the raw and finished intelligence that fed into the intelligence community's assessment back in 2017 that Vladimir Putin wanted Donald Trump to win the 2016 election and interfered in it to achieve that purpose. Not so, the new report says. The new report finds the Russian president's asserted preference for the Trump-Pence ticket was based on only one classified data point, which was itself one scant, unclear, and unverifiable fragment of a sentence from a flawed report. The Kremlin's leaking of DNC emails was aimed, this report maintains, at undermining American democracy. Gabbard's team says Putin, quote, held back leaking.
All right. Sean, I've covered my share of Washington brouhahas. I'm open-minded about accusations, particularly from government officials, but I also bring an air of skepticism to such things. And this one confuses the crap out of me. What is Tulsi Gabbard alleging? Who is she saying did what that either did or might have violated the law?
There's what she's saying and what she's alluding to, and those are two separate things. So what she's saying is that intelligence officials manipulated the intelligence that showed the reality of what Russia's role was. She is alluding to the fact that Obama knew it and allowed it to be perpetrated by what he put out publicly and what he didn't.
And what was their motive?
Oh, just undermining President Trump and trying to undermine the credibility of his win in 2016.
Okay, Dan,
explain. I would actually use the word legitimacy. That was their goal was to undermine the legitimacy of the win.
Okay, Dan.
Happy days are here again. I love this. I mean, this is what swing voters hate about Donald Trump. This is absurd. I mean, they hacked Hillary Clinton's emails to undermine Hillary Clinton's campaign. They bought Facebook and YouTube ads to suppress the black vote. That is indisputable. I mean, I love it. Conspiracy
I think you've seen too many episodes of The Americans.
Yeah, bring it. You want to know what? If this is what we get to talk of, he's not talking about the big, beautiful bill. He's not talking about the real lives of real people. He is trying to relitigate 10 years ago like a temper tantrum 2-year-old. Like, I really did it. This is awesome.
Bring it. Can I just
bring it?
Go ahead.
I just want to wait.
I want to add this. You woke up Barack Obama, which is awesome.
Okay, let me ask you.
Bring him into the game.
Let me ask you that, and then Sean,
Yep.
why the Obama statement correctly referenced the notion that they don't normally respond to anything President Trump does. So one school of thought says they responded because they don't want there to be public disinformation. Another school says, as Bill Clinton would say, only a scalded dog screams. Or yelps or whatever Bill Clinton says. Like, why did Barack Obama choose to respond to this?
I like to think he took his own medicine and said, start fighting. I mean, look, Trump smacked him around for 10 years, or 15. Go back to the birther movement. Obama took it. Michelle is still incensed that the party took it for 10 years while Trump smacked him around. If this gets Obama up to start, the only person who's ever effectively punched Trump in the face is Barack Obama at the White House Correspondents' Dinner when he mocked him to his face, and the whole crowd was laughing at Trump. So for me, bring it. Get Obama off the sidelines. I love this.
Sean.
So I'll go back to this. I don't necessarily agree with all of Dan's analysis, but I will agree with one part. Well, no, but this is the important thing. We just passed the most significant piece of legislation, probably. I mean, I'm just going, and this isn't trying to be hyperbolic, but I mean, I think at least Republican wise, and I could make a case. I'm just saying this off the top. So, but anyway, at least one of the most significant pieces that any president's ever passed in the first 6 months, whether you like it or not, the significance of it. And what bothers me is that we're not talking about a signature Republican issue that the base should be fired up about. They had a plan, at least they projected one, where they'd be fanning out around the country, talking about the benefits of this, helping members. I mean, look, I've said this forever. You guys heard this during election year. People vote because of how they feel viscerally about the economy or their personal safety. This bill did both. It secured the border. It put money back in people's pockets. It cut taxes. It stimulated the economy, blah, 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 blah. I loved it. And here we are talking about 10 years ago. And here's why I get upset about it, right? So one, is this a deflection on Epstein? Is that just all this is? It's trying to say, pivot from this. We throw out the MLK files. We'll throw this out. This is a personal issue to me. I spent countless hours in front of lawyers and paralegals going up and to be a witness, not a target, in front of Mueller. So if you have the goods that show that this was intentional, I actually really care about this issue on a personal level, because not just because of the hours and the dollars, but because we worked really hard to win in 2016. And the idea that if there's legitimate proof that they undermine the legitimacy of that win and weaponize them, then bring it. So what upsets me about this is the rollout again. It's the Epstein equivalent of binders. If you're going to come out and talk about this and roll it out, then don't throw out some crap on Newsmax and call it a day. Sit out there and say, here's the evidence. We got these guys dead to right. We're referring it to DOJ for a prosecution. But if you're going to get my hopes up that you finally got these guys and you come out by throwing out some, the willy-nilly stuff, that's not going to cut it.
And by the way, Sean,
couldn't agree more. Yeah,
just to add that the big beautiful bill is underwater, right? It's about a net negative 25 points. Republicans have been saying during August, with Trump's help, they were going to go home and sell this. If you're a Republican and you go home right now,
hold on, Paul, stop right there. Go ahead, Dan. Stop right there.
The first two questions you're likely going to get are, if you're a House member, are you going to vote to release all the Jeffrey Epstein files? And what do you make of this, now this other conspiracy theory? You're not going to get to the big, beautiful bill for the first 20 minutes because you're going to answer all this nonsense.
Right. All right. Let me say one more thing, and then we got to move on because we've used a lot of time. Happy to take people's questions in just a bit on this. This is Tulsi Gabbard's tweet thread, beginning of her tweet thread about the release this morning, which again, as Dan said, it's a declassification of a report done by Devin Nunes, who's very close to President Trump, that he did for the House Intelligence Committee.
He's the CEO of Truth Social now.
Yeah. Look at the second paragraph. And I'll say one thing on each side of this. I still don't really understand what they're alleging, and I totally agree with Sean. This is a crap way to roll something this serious out. But this paragraph, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people, working with their partners in the media to promote the lie in order to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump. Okay? That characterization, I don't know how it applies in this case, but that characterization applies to the 50 intelligence officers, many things that Adam Schiff alleged that proved to be false, and the media worked hand in glove with the Democrats in many instances, with the intelligence community on Capitol Hill and the Democratic intelligence community, including people close to Biden and Clinton. So you can't dismiss this out of hand, whatever it is, because the underlying dynamics that they say with the foundation for what they're alleging, those personalities, those dynamics, they happened. We know they happened. So maybe they happened in this case. All right, quickly on Ozzy Osbourne.
Hold on a sec, Mark. Yeah. I got to say this. it is true the Russians interfered in our
Well,
election to try to help Donald Trump.
of course it is. Of course
Okay,
it is,
but that
Dan.
is not a conspiracy theory
But
to
Dan,
subvert the will of the
Dan,
election.
to invoke the phrase that you and Sean like so much, two things can be true at once. Russia tried to interfere in the election, and the Democrats
And they did. And they did.
Well, yeah, they did. They
did.
tried to, and they did.
Yes,
and
correct.
and it's also true that the Democratic Intelligence Committee, working with their friends in the media, in some cases, used the intelligence process and their credibility and their access to information to try to keep Donald Trump from winning, and when he won, to try to destroy his presidency.
Well, they didn't try to keep, because he had won when most of this stuff came out. Did they try to say he wasn't legitimate? I mean, that's what the Mueller report was really about. And Mueller said, was he?
No, that's not what.
No,
right,
no,
it was
that's
no.
not
What the
true.
Mueller report was about was whether or not there was collusion.
Collusion, exactly.
The bottom line is,
Right.
you go back
Which
and look
would
at
have made him
GPS and all the-
illegitimate. Right.
Yeah,
That's what they
yeah.
were trying to do.
But again, you cannot look at Mr. Brennan or some of the people around Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and say that, and certainly Senator Schiff, you cannot look at them and say they have a record of pure, clean hands on publicly engaging in the use of their intelligence credibility to try to hurt Donald Trump politically. You just can't assert that, Dan.
No, you can't. Just like you can't assert this
Yeah.
group in any way, shape, or form is in any way nonpartisan.
Correct. All
you.
correct. All right. So that's the stew. Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip, and you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.